Hey guys, and welcome back to another IPT podcast. And this week I am talking about planning ahead. Now, last week I kind of alluded to the fact we would be doing this kind of podcast, but I think it's really important to get across that this is something that really, if you get it right, can enhance your business, can enhance your life, and can really cut down on a lot of the tasks that you can get overwhelmed with. So let's have a little think about planning ahead. So, with a new year coming up, we have 12 months ahead, and as a personal trainer, we should know what the industry is going to be like. We've always got these peak months and certain things that happen through the year that we can then utilise to plan ahead. So I'm going to briefly run through the months, and then hopefully that gives you an idea of what kind of planning you need to do for your own business. Now, obviously, this is something we advocate on the business course and something we talk about during the personal training course. But it's something that we all need to be aware of. Even as a training provider, we know there's certain times of the year when people are more likely to become a personal trainer. So we are going to look at that, and we are going to get you ready for that new year ahead. And then let's speak a little bit about other planning ahead moments that could really help you. So let's look at January. January 24. We all know January as being a massively busy month. And when you look at that kind of month itself, it always seems like it goes on for longer than it should. And generally, we need to understand the state of play that people are at to make sure that we maximise our chances of success. So first of all, January is a month where loads of people will come to the gym, New Year's resolutions, trying to get fit, and a lot of people will be introduced for the gym for the first time, and some people will be returning trying to do better than they did last year. So what we're trying to do is make the gym a welcoming place, trying to help as much as we can, and trying to make sure that you have an amazing time yourself. Because January, unless you already have a packed diary, tends to be quieter for new trainers. It's really a time for exposing yourself to everybody you can and speaking to as many people, doing as many things, so that you can be the one that everybody takes note of. And obviously some people will like what you do, some people won't. But when we look at people looking to purchase personal training, although they've bought a gym membership, it isn't always the busiest month for personal trainers, because everybody's just spent their money at New Year, everybody's just spent their money at Christmas. So don't go in with that kind of attitude of I need to get personal training clients. Going with an attitude with I'm trying to help as many people as possible will definitely get you much further in January. So what kind of things can you do to get yourself noticed in January? That's really down to what you're comfortable with doing, and certainly a lot of people will be attending classes. A lot of people might get frustrated in the gym with not being able to use equipment, so make sure you're comfortable showcasing other pieces of equipment that aren't as busy, like kettlebells, TRX and so on. And obviously, when we look at the different things available, make sure that your classes are, if you take classes, are spectacular. You know, make sure they're really engaging. Make sure that you put effort into your classes, and that's going to take some planning ahead also for your music, for your choreography, for whatever else you do. And try to make sure that you are up to date with as much information as you can be so that you can actually make an impact into people's lives and make an impact into the people coming to the gym for the first time and returning to the gym. And through those different weeks in January, really try to do something different each week. Don't just go in doing the same thing. Don't just stand at the door the entire time. Don't hand out the same leaflets all the time, because granted that might give you some new clients. As I said, you want to meet as many people as possible, so try go out your way to do lots of different things. Keep it interesting for yourself as well. And then when you come to the end of January, when people get paid, remember that's not going to be a time where everybody's going to have spare cash. It is going to take a while, and some people will be looking for the next thing that's available to them, which is Valentine's Day. So you are going to have a select section of the people coming to the gym who are just looking at Valentine's Day, looking ahead to that. And some people will be looking at February and potentially spending money on other things. So that January payday, remember, people tend to feel the pinch in their pocket. Again, taking an attitude of trying to help people will definitely get you further at this point, because when people get spare cash, and they will have spare cash at some point, they will then want to invest in you because you have given them the most support and help. You've shown them that you care. And really, that's one of the biggest things. So looking into February, we're still kind of at the trough. So we talk about peaks and troughs of the year. We're at a trough. We're at the kind of bottom of the spike. And before we spike up again, we do need to get past a few things. And one of them is Valentine's Day. But Valentine's Day is typically something a lot of people dread. So remember, you're not just catering to couples, you're catering to individuals in the gym, and you should be trying to make everything as accessible as possible. Remember, people want to get accessible. They want to make sure that they can take part and not feel like they're an outcast. So, although Valentine's Day might be a theme of some of your classes, remember the singles, remember the couples, and remember the people who maybe are going through a not nice time at this time of year and might need support. So, try to factor that in. And obviously, it's the second week of the month, so maybe you want to put on an offer. Maybe you want to talk about other things like how are people getting on with their resolutions. And really, there's loads you can do to kind of have that in people's minds. You can do talks, you can speak to people directly, you can message, you can set up a Facebook page, you can do whatever you feel is correct for you and your business. But again, planning these things in is going to make you much more successful. Take away a lot of that stress and time of what you should be doing. And in February, there's not too much else going on. Valentine's Day is the big thing. February is always a kind of shorter month, obviously, with less days. And before you know it, you'll be into March. Now, March is one of those bridging months where we're now starting to see an increase in. We see an increase not in our revenue always, but definitely in people's interest in personal training. So with January being so busy, and a lot of the time February being really busy, But February is typically a month where we start to see better personal training sales. So going into March, we start to see those sales increase some more. But again, there are some things in there that are going to cause maybe a little bit of hazard to yourself. As a personal trainer, you might get people not wanting to do training because they have something booked for St. Paddy's Day. Or there typically seems to be a lot of birthdays in March. So again, you can typically get caught up in different events and different things happening in March, because it seems to be one of those popular months for things like that. And on a side note, it's also my birthday month, so I tend to have a little bit of a break then as well. But personal training, people are more interested. So make sure you capitalise on the things you've been doing in January and February to make sure that you are now keeping in contact with all those people that you spoke to, and have they got the right support? Has anybody dropped away from the gym that you spoke to? Did they not get the support they needed? Can you give them something? Don't always go in with that mindset of, I need to get somebody to pay for my services. Remember, we took up this occupation to help people. So genuinely try to help people. Genuinely try to get across that you care. And you'll see very quickly that people will come to your services. Now, hopefully, if you've started the year off right, by March your book should be most of the way booked, and you should be looking into April, into things that are a bit more fun. You've obviously got April Fool's Day, you've got Easter coming up. So again, there's going to be people looking for personal training. They maybe want nutritional help. That tends to be where April is a big month for nutritional help, because again, there's a lot of chocolate involved. A lot of people are now into the year 4 months, and they might not have seen the success they wanted to see, so they'll seek out trainers. Or it could be that your current clients are looking for more support in that area. So even making sure that you've got some support that you can give people. Think about what giveaways you could have, or what challenges you're going to do to help people. And again, that challenges and things can be done in any month. But you should really be thinking about what offer you're going to have each month. Obviously, with February, maybe have a Valentine's offer. With April, maybe have an Easter offer. And then we're really starting to come into that spike. And the spike really peaks around about the May time. And May seems to be where people's focus is now maybe shifted end of April into May to really think about their future holidays. Or for parents at least, they are conscious of the fact that there are going to be holidays coming up. So when we look at the holidays that the parents might be thinking of, and they will start looking at saving money, so that's the kind of down point for this. But also, people want to be in shape for going on holiday. They want to be able to do things and look good doing them. So again, we want to cater for that. So maybe start thinking about doing some kind of transformation packages. Maybe look into showcasing more physical and nutrition aspects of your training. And again, it's all about trying to give people what they want, but make sure they come to you for the fact that you're trying to help them, and also for the fact that you are able to give them not just the support, physical and nutritional support that you're going to offer anybody, but also that kind of almost friend in the gym that they need. You know, like, remember, personal training is personal. So if you can get your personality across to people, they are going to be likely to buy you, and you are the product. So now we've hit May, we're going into June. And June is when we start to see that downward spiral again. We've now hit the peak. We are now heading into another trough. Now, the fitness market does take a downturn in the summer, but not for everybody. Remember, a lot of people will still be working their jobs as normal, but people tend to be either on holiday for a few weeks or away doing things for a couple of weeks. A lot of people plan to take advantage of the summer weather. So why can't you, as a trainer, maybe think about what free spaces you have that you can utilise and do some outdoor training with clients? Maybe even look at how it would be to maybe train clients in their environment. Do they have like a park nearby or a back garden they can utilise? And can you be mobile enough to get to sessions? And again, that might be something your clients are into. They might not want to. They might want to just come to the gym. That's really down to you to find out. But again, if you pre-plan that and ask all your clients, you're going to find out and you can plan in what you need to. Again, knowing all this information just helps us plan out what we should be doing. And it can be a rough guideline. We don't have to have exact things we're doing each time, but if we know what we're planning in, we will then be more likely to execute. So now that we're halfway through the year and we know that people are going to want to do those kind of things, we need to start factoring it in, start actually actioning what's going to make us basically have a better summer ourselves. And it may even be planning in your own holidays, because at quieter times of the year, that's probably the best time to utilise getting your own holiday. And again, if you've got 10 plus clients all taking holidays at the same time, is it really worth you not having a holiday yourself? Because if you don't, you may not get a holiday. And that's something personal trainers really need to look at, especially in the self-employed kind of part of their job. You know, you have to decide when you go on holiday. And then again, June into July, again, another month in the summer where people are taking advantage of sunshine if we have it in the UK, or are looking at maybe getting away. These are things that are going to happen in your business. So make sure you're catering for that. If you have like clients who are looking to maybe go on holiday, remember, you don't just let them go on holiday. You try to support them. You try to ask what they need of you while they're away. And also, because they are spending money, remember, they're going to feel like they are short of it when they come back from holiday. So don't let them miss out on coming back to your personal training sessions. Don't let them go without actually giving them a plan. So we've got that sorted. The summer is almost over and we've hit the bottom of the trough. Usually July is one of the weaker months of the year when it comes to personal training. As I said, people's head isn't really there. Not everybody's the same, but for the mass majority of people they are looking at a kind of downturn and away from the gym. So now we get into August, and we know August is a kind of comeback month. It's still a summer month, but it's a comeback month. People have either been on holiday and are now coming back to the gym in dribs and drabs. And some people may still be going on holidays in August. Typically, a lot of the time we will see parents trying to fit in the last minute holidays before the kids go back to school. So usually August, almost heading into September, depends on where you live in the UK or where you live in the world. The kids will be going back to school. So that could be something that you jump on. That's something you could maybe plan ahead for and start to realise that these people are going to be now available for maybe some sessions, especially if you've had drop-offs and it's because of the fact that they've had to look after kids during the summer. You might have to look at reopening spaces for people and juggling a diary. So if you haven't planned that out, plan it out Make sure it's done so you can execute and maximise the spaces that you have, because then you'll know what times you need to concentrate on being in the gym to get new clients. So August, again, should be a busier month in the gym. Start to see a lot of people coming back. September, we start to see a lot more people appear. And that's because September generally is when, as I said, the school children are back. So we've got parents in the gym. If you have a school nearby, you may see a lot of the 16, 17-year-olds coming into the gym, because again, that's usually the age that they're allowed to enter the gym. So you may see them coming back if they haven't been around in the summer. You may also see a lot of students start to appear, as that typically is when colleges and universities go back. And typically everybody's finished with their holidays. September is that peak month. It is the peak month of the year. It is busier than any other month. And that's why in September you need to be prepared. What deals are you going to be doing? What things are you going to be doing to help people? What classes are going to be like? Plan ahead every aspect of your business, so that once you get to September, it's just a case of executing your plans. Then we look ahead again, get September, and then we head into October. Only got a few months left now, so we're into the last quarter of the year. And October being the 10th month of the year, we all know what comes in October. It's that favourite of everybody's, Halloween. And Halloween is a big deal for a lot of people. Parents love to get involved with their kids. People like to get dressed up. But it's also an excuse for a lot of people to go out drinking. So remember, there are going to be people that are planning nights out, planning big things. So people again need money to do these things, so we need to make sure that the services that you provide are essential, fun, bring something to the table, and aren't just mediocre, because you will soon find people who have left your business if you have not given them what they wanted through the year. So again, jump on the Halloween bandwagon, do some fun things, make sure people get your personality and see it. And if that's not your personality, you don't like to do Halloween, then don't do it. It's absolutely fine. Again, there's going to be people who are like that, and they are going to be drawn to you. So that's absolutely fine. October is a busy month. It's probably one of the last busiest months of the year. We've just had August and September being the busiest. October's still going to be busy. Then we start to head into November, and November is the quieter month, not of the two remaining, but of the kind of busier months we've just had. November starts to be a quieter month. Now obviously we've got fireworks, but it tends to be that earlier and earlier people start to book their Christmas nights out, and they tend to be at the beginning to the middle of November now. So we're going to start seeing people think about these staff nights out, these Christmas nights out, and well, what are you actually going to be spending your money on? Is it going to be your health, or is it going to be these nights out? And if it is a bit of both, which hopefully it is for most people, then we need to make sure our service lives up to what they want to achieve. So look good for your Christmas night out. That's something you should be planning on doing closer to the end of October. Before Halloween hits, is start to offer packages for being fit for Christmas or being fit for New Year, and then really make sure you're executing and filling any places you need to, or even getting your current clients excited about it. And with that, we're going to see ourselves coming to the end of November very, very quickly and into December. And December obviously is just a countdown to the end of the year. and the gym will get quieter day by day. But that also gives you an opportunity to plan ahead for 2025 by that point. Factor in all the things that you want to do in the year ahead. What education do you want to do? What's going to make you better as a personal trainer? What's going to help you education-wise when you're moving forward? Just a whole bunch of other things that, you haven't done for yourself over the year. Remember, it's a time of self-reflection. It's a time to set new goals and targets. But it's also a time to think about you and what you want to achieve for the year ahead. And even if you've got a busy calendar in December, which I hope you do end up having, sometimes you will get drop-offs and things will happen. And that's okay, because as long as you've planned in what you need to get done, then you may end up with some extra free time. So that's a rough kind of guideline for us looking at 2024 and how to plan. Now, I've only told you the peaks and troughs and some critical dates, but there's a lot more in there. We know that. And there's so much more you can do if you just plan ahead. Whatever you do to plan is up to yourself. Sometimes it's utilising online calendars or physical calendars or whatever it is. But please start to think ahead, start to plan ahead. It's going to be the one thing that actually helps you be a success. Because if you don't have anything to execute, if you don't have anything and it's all last minute, you're always going to be stressed. You're always going to be chasing yourself. And really, that is not a good thing or a good place to be for a personal trainer. Now, what else should you be planning? Well, you should be planning your classes. You should be planning your weekly social media. You should be planning in your day. How many hours are you personal training? How many hours are you on shift? If you do shifts, how many hours of classes are you doing? How many hours of exercise? When and where do all these things take place? Having a plan each day is one of the things that turned me from being an average personal trainer to being a successful personal trainer. Because once I knew exactly what I was doing each and every hour of the day, I just went and executed it. And that's as simple as knowing when to be on the gym floor, because that's when I need clients, to making sure my class music was ready so I could actually go and just start the class. It was one of those things that really took me to the next level. And especially when we look at education, over the kind of decade plus of education I've had in the fitness field, I've been able to amass over 50 qualifications because I planned in the time to actually do them. Now, that could be an hour in between taking clients. It could be time at the weekend. And even things that like spending time with your friends, spending time with your partner, spending time with your family. If you actually book time in, just like you would book your clients, and plan ahead, you will start to see that you are much more of a success. And that goes for your own training. It goes for everything you do, because once it's booked in, it becomes more like a task to execute. But if you're just ad hocing everything, then you're never going to see success. So I hope that's been helpful. I really do. I think we all need to start looking at planning in our 2024s if we haven't already, and nailing down exactly what you need to do to take your personal training business to the next level. And if you're looking at getting in personal training for the first time and you're listening to this podcast, then hopefully that's gave you an idea of what the industry is like, what the state of play is for fitness, and although it's a very generalised, up and down kind of way of speaking about the fitness industry, I think you can see very quickly that one, it can be very profitable if you know what you're doing, and two, it is some information that if you didn't already know it, can make a massive impact to how you approach selling your services. And again, there is much, much more to that than just what I've spoke about in the past 30 minutes, but make sure you start to build out those plans. And if you haven't got a business course under your wing, I do advocate that, whether it's our own course at IPT or you do another course somewhere else. We want to make sure that you actually get the correct information and be successful as a business. Now that if you do the course with us or not, it doesn't matter. You can always contact us for help and support. We will give you everything we can to the best of our ability. And with that said, please, as always, if you feel you need some help and support, contact us through our social medias or drop us an email or book in for a call or a chat. We would love to hear from you. We always love hearing from you. And if you would like to get involved in this podcast or even just want to have a private chat, please let us know. We're here to help. Until next time, I hope you all have a great week, and we will be back next week, another week closer to Christmas and another week closer to us smashing out another new year. Speak soon. Take care.